Yep, well, so this is the next Sinclair C5 project. So basically I'm getting these mirrors here just as an exchange for just giving this one a renovation, getting it working sort of thing, which I think is a fair deal sort of thing. So I'm getting yeah, a pair of these mirrors. I need to get hold of the brackets for them and stuff. But obviously otherwise the mirrors themselves are really nice. They're going to go on my C5 just there. And saying in exchange, say for renovating this one. So what I'm going to do is the guys have cleaned it. It looks pretty decent. Obviously it's faded loads in there. If they want to do some sort of like Teflon or silicone or paint it, you know, plastic paint, they can do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say replace the side stripes on it, clean everything in terms of all this aspect around them, all the mechanical aspects. So give this physically a good clean, and then obviously take all the brakes apart, service all the brakes, make sure everything's sorted, replace the cables, you know, if they need doing or if they're in any manner suspicious. I'm going to take off the rear hoop of this part here, assuming that's not completely, you know, knackered or seized, and then just paint that. I'm not going to paint the chassis, just going to paint that part there. It's not a full restoration, it's a sort of a renovation. Physically clean this disgusting area here, get rid of all this crap here, neaten up the wires, you know, re-secure the wires up here, make it all like physically clean and neat. The motor here does not move at all, so if you get hold of this, there's literally zero movement in there. So it's either completely seized or the gearbox is potentially, you know, broken down inside, you know, it's just destroyed itself inside. So I won't know until I take it apart, but either way it's not moving at all. This part here is moving, it's got some damage on the teeth here, there's no belt with it. It had some sort of tyres at some point, so those potentially alright. So it's all looks pretty disgusting, but it's all good. Hole in the indicator there, this one here looks alright. I'm going to paint this, and I'll probably paint these, I'm not sure yet, because these are sort of original and they're not bad sort of thing, so I'm not sure. I might paint those. I'll see, but they do look alright, and obviously it suits the rest of the vehicle, of course. The fact that it's sort of more matted, you know, whereas obviously that is just rusty and skanky. I'll fit some quick release connectors, get rid of all this crap in there, so that's fine. It hasn't got a serial number, unfortunately. Looks like all the bits are there, so I'll sort those out. So someone's done some wiring and stuff up here, so I'll look at that. If that's suspicious, I'll solder it and crimp it. I'll get the lights working. There's no front light with this at the moment. He has got it, so I'll just make sure I'll just get all the bulbs working. This is obviously very faded, so really the C5 has been out in the sun and out in the garden under a bush, because that is incredibly faded plastic on there. But yeah, see how that works, see if it works or not. If not, you know, yeah, do my best to fix that as well. At the front, again, physically clean all that, but otherwise it all looks not bad, you know. Clean and grease the bearings, all that sort of stuff, replacement if necessary. So yeah, just get it basically, just ideally to get that so you can sit in it and drive. I think the guys, John's got the boot for it as well. So yeah, so that's all sweet, and he has got center caps as well for it. So I think that's not too bad. So that's the next project. So you'll see some updates on this one soon. Cool. Yeah, these are not bad. They're missing the seals and stuff, but not bad. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. We'll get that sorted. Nice one. Yep, well, quick part two. So yep, I've removed the side stripes using a jet washer, nice and easy. There's no serial number on this one, so there's nothing to worry about in this aspect. The chain was absolutely horrendous, proper horrendous. So as you can see here, I'm soaking it in petrol, so that should get most of the dirt off. You know, yeah, maybe better. I mean, if you're gonna keep this long term, you know, stick a new chain on sort of thing. But I think that's probably recoverable for that. Some good news, some bad news. So good news is the gearbox appears to be fine, which is cool. All the teeth there, all that sort of stuff. So all that looks good. Bearing there still spins, grainy as hell, but still spins. That all looks good. That all looks fine basically there. Both the washers are in place. It's cool. This part here looks okay. Bearings still move. Both bearings are there, so that's probably okay. This is the bad bit here. So this is the reason why it was seized, is because, as you see here, this part of the coil pack has come away from the magnet. So this centre part here that's done as a paperweight. So that's recycling. Unfortunately, so that's trash. It's got these markings on from the previous person. So they obviously knew something was up on this, because hence why they put some type of markings on there potentially. But either way, that is trash. We need a new one of those. But the rest of it appears to be good. Brushes all look good. So yeah, I hope we're good there. I've cleaned up this. I've jet washed underneath here to try and get the initial dirt off and crap off. I've just started to loosen off the hoop here. So I'll try and take out these. These look like they're pretty knackered. So I'll see if they come out. If not, I'll have to drill those out, get this off under the 2 screws, and then I can remove the hoop. Yep, and then I'll just get some more petrol. So not petrol, sorry, white spirit. Sorry for this, to clean up all these parts here. When I put the battery up, you do get some relay action on there, but obviously it won't move because, of course, it was seized. So I'm kind of thinking that once I rebuild the motor with a new case, the motor will spin. But they say there's no pod lights yet, but that's the next sort of stage down the line. Cool, cheers. Yeah, also final part for today. So just done a little bit, just when I had spare time sort of thing. So found some brand new quick release. These are the new version quick release connectors. Put those on shrink wrapped, positive and negative a little bit as well. So that's all absolutely sweet. So that's great, ready to go. Rubbed that down, primed it, and gave it quite a good few number of coats. So the black satin is pitted as you like, pitted as hell, but it looks decent. It's as best as it's going to be. It looks good, way better than literally the rusty thing we had before with no paint on it. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. The main thing as well is it's solid as well. So that's all sweet. Yeah, reconnected that up there. Put the new connections on there. Yeah, just little bits and bobs, just to get it started. In here, as you can see, I've neatened up the wiring compared to how it was. It was an absolute hanging down, absolute tip. So that's all nice and neat. I've also just started to neaten up the wiring down here, but not doing too much because, of course, I need to have a bit of slack so I can connect the motor up and test it and all this sort of stuff. And chances are the control box or the pod doesn't work properly, so I'll probably have to take this apart anyway. So one point to note is that, I don't know if you can see or not, you probably can't see actually in here, but it hasn't actually been taken apart before. It's still the original rivets in place. So the previous owner did take the cover off because the screws were all loose, and there was lots and lots of dirt and crud in this section here. So I probably will have to take it apart to clean it and fix it, likely. But it's good to know that it hasn't been taken apart, so there's not going to be any probably not going to be any bodges inside there, because it looks complete factory, which is good. This also looks good. So like I said here, everything else looks pretty sweet. Wiring I'm happy with. I tested it. The lights all work as well. Also, I need to make sure that they're bright and decent, but I turn them on and off and they look like they're spot on, which is great. So yeah, it's starting to come along really nicely. Obviously, we need the broken magnet, broken motor section, middle section here. That's trash paperweight, so we have to have one of those. Everything else looks good. Obviously, we won't know if it's got any damage to the rotor until I clean it and put it in and spin it and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully it's okay. But the bearings are not smooth, but they feel like, obviously they need an oil, but they feel fine. So I'm hoping that there's no damage to this, but you never know. This might have been shorted out. No idea until we put it together. So we'll see what we can do. I mean, obviously, if we can get one of those cheap, boom, stick it in, have a go. If not, another motor. Then obviously we've got loads of spare bits there. But yeah, it's looking really good. Also cleaned out the freewheel. That spins beautifully now. And that was covered in shit and dirt, so that's now spot on. Chain as well was absolutely disgusting, the chain was. So I've now taken it off. The split pin was absolutely rotten, and soaked it in petrol and then white spirit to double clean it. And then I've oiled it, so it's not like a mint chain by far, but it's not mint at all, but it looks like it's good. So again, we'll stick it on, we can pedal with it, see if it feels good. It probably will be fine, and then we can use it. Obviously, ideal scenario is you buy a new chain, but there's no need to if you don't absolutely have to. Yeah, so this is looking really good. So yeah, you can look out for the motor part there. And then really, I think tomorrow I'll put the chain back on, and then I can now wire it up properly and determine that the electronics probably don't work properly, and then I can then take the pod off, have a look at that, take the control box off, have a look at that, get that fixed. That's cool. And then I need to say sort this out here. This is all pretty minging and it's sort of falling apart where it's been out and where it's been exposed to a lot of sun, I think. So I'll sort that out there. Probably I'll certainly cable tie it, heat shrink over these. I'll paint this. Probably gonna leave these because, you know, it kind of suits the whole car. It's in, you know, it's in quite good condition. Those are, so I'm definitely painting that. And yeah, and then oil pedals, all that sort of stuff, and go from there. So it's still a fair bit of work, but it's all good. Excellent. Cheers.